Hello guys, welcome to my second commentary, this time featuring Kennen. I'm gonna play him AD carry and here are some general tips. Level and max your W first because after every 4 attacks you deal an extra damage based on the amount of AD you have and adds a lightning stack. Always try to keep your E up because you need to be able to escape easily unless you go all in. And every 3rd stack of lightning within 7 seconds stuns the opponent. And also make, just like I did, a customized build so you can shop easily and don't have to search for the item because Kennen's recommended build is AP. So what you should try to do is when you're on the side who doesn't have double golems, you should or try to get experience from wolves from jungler if allowed, or what we're gonna do this game, we're gonna deny them from golems which will spawn at 140. Oh, and by the way, I started with the Dorn's Blade because they have Jenna Ezreal, which has no sustain, and I have Lulu, which also has no heal, so no sustain. But I managed that because they have no sustain, and I got a Dorn's Blade, which gives 5 health and some lifesteal runes. I will manage it. So when you're invading golems, try to go at 138 because they will spawn at 140. And yeah, just like we do now, you have to deny them. The only fault I'm making is that I'm tanking 1 golem hit and taking a Ezreal Q. And I actually started with my Q because I wanted to harass them, but normally you should really start with your W and also max that first. And after your W you should max your E because you really need the low cooldowns to go in and out fights easily. And your Q, because you're playing AD, doesn't add much. Oh, and also what I just did here was when you got your extra damage stack of your W up, here's what I'm doing right now. You should actually, just like with a Caitlyn headshot, you should try to poke your enemy and immediately press your W. So yeah, in this case you can force Ezreal to use another pot, and it's really good for the poke in the early game.
An ally has been slain.
And what's actually going wrong just right now is that we're actually getting pushed upon while Kennen Lulu's a really aggressive lane, and you should actually be able to win from an Ezreal Janna.
Steady.
Actually right here we had a great window to engage on them, but because we got pushed upon, the creeps will do too much damage to us. And yeah, otherwise we could have fought them, and we are stronger, like I said, with my stun and the Lulu polymorph. And right now I'm saying that when Jenna, her shield is on cooldown, you should actually engage because she doesn't have, yeah, she's actually missing 1 skill. It's the same with a Blitz hook. When it's on cooldown he can't do as much as he can with, of course.
A summoner has reconnected. I am a winner.
Okay, and what I'm noticing right now in the left top corner of my screen is that Ezreal ran out of potions, and because he has less AD than me, I can see that he doesn't have lifesteal runes. so that also actually that's not the case, but because he bought the pots, I know he has no lifesteal runes. So actually we should try to trade right now, and yeah, that's really important. And notice how I just had my extra damage auto attack up and added a lightning stack, so I only needed to Q and W to stun Sona and trade. And in this way, like I said at the start, I can keep my E up for if a jungler shows up and can easily escape. And also when you're playing against Ezreal, try to stay behind or next to your minions, or in your minions actually, in your minion wave, because he can't land his damage from his Q, which is his main damage early game.
An ally has been slain.
Well, right now we got the upper hand in the lane because Ezreal lost all his sustain. So we're gonna force them under the tower, and we will make sure that Ezreal will lose CS, because the tower will take some if we pressure it. Oh yeah, and what you see right here is that we overextended, but we didn't have a ward, so it was an easy pickup for them, and that actually was pretty bad. Well, because Kennen is auto attack based, and his skills do not stack AD, you should build a Blade of the Ruined King and an Infinity Edge, because that is the highest damage output for auto attacks that you can combine with 2 items, and not a Bloodthirster, and then Last Whisper as first 2 items, because your items do not stack with AD. It has no real use. And a defensive item which is not used a lot but fits Kennen perfectly is Zhonya's, because of the AP scaling, of course, and when you're playing against an high armor and high attack damage team, the armor also helps, and you can also block assassins damage, like set ult for example with it when you Zhonya's at a good time. So what you should try to do when you know your opponent went base because he pushed to your tower this much, you should try to stall your lane, because he will miss experience and CS then. As you can see, just right now 2 minions died because I stalled the lane, and 3 minions actually, and if I had pushed, then those minions would have survived and he could easily pick them up, and he could actually stall his lane, and he could stall the lane at his side of the lane. So it's really important that you notice that when you are at your side of the lane and your enemy is back, that you should try to stall as much as you can. But when your opponent is base, you really need to push it to the tower, so he will miss CS or an experience. Here, notice how I was in front of my minions just right now, and you see we actually lost the trade because Ezreal could hit his E and his Q on me. And yeah, if I was behind my minions, I could have damaged him maybe 1 auto attack less, but he couldn't have landed skills, and we would have won the trade. And now we can push because we have a ward in the river actually, and we still have the upper hand. Well, it felt like it, and I still think we had actually. Yeah, and the strongest thing, as you can see, on the laning phase is Kennen is stun. So you should always try to watch when your W is up, when you can get that extra lightning stack. And when you can try to stun him with your W and just a simple Q. Which will, again, leave your E open to escape if for example, a jungler comes. And as you can see, Ezreal has to use his ultimate right now, because we poked him down so hard. And so if a team fight occurs in the next, let's say 40 seconds or 50 seconds, Ezreal won't have his ult up, so that's pretty important actually. And right now we're forcing him under his turret again, which will make him lose CS. Okay, as you can see right now, Udyr is coming, so we're backing off.
Steady.
So Shen is right now just coming from the bush, so we should try to bait a fight in so Shen can taunt in, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. I'm going in on Janna, but Shen just misses his taunt, otherwise I would have just ult and we got a kill off it, but this time I didn't ult because I was not sure if we would have gotten a kill.
Balance in all things.
And here you can see the damage again of the stun, and it actually was pretty good because this trade, because we forced an ultimate from Janna and a barrier from Ezreal, which me only cost energy, which is also very strong from Ezreal. From Kennen he only needs energy. And actually because of the good trade Lulu with her Ignite, which is something aggressive supports take, because it's really strong for situations like this. Ezreal died and we can just... I'm gonna push the minions to the tower, so Ezreal won't have the CS and the experience that he would have had normally, because the tower takes it all.
Let's do it.
And I'm gonna push another wave to the tower. This is all experience and CS that Ezreal's missing again. And it's a good time to go base because Ezreal can't push it to your tower right now, because his lane is still at his third, so he will never push it to your tower before you're back. And actually this time I'm choosing for a BS sword, because otherwise I could have only bought a bilge water cutlass, which is the previous item from a blade rune king, and a dagger, which gives attack speed. But that the previous version of a blade rune king, which is the bilge water cutlass, is not that strong on lane, and because we are dominating it right now, I needed the constant damage from a bloodthirster, so we could keep on dominating. And as you can see, Ezreal could not push to my lane, to my turret I mean, sorry. And sometimes when you cannot farm under your turret that well, because yeah, the creeps just have a weird amount of HP, you can't let the turret attack it once or twice for melee minions. You could use your W and your Q pretty well to farm. So if you are behind, don't be afraid to farm underneath your tower, because with Kennen it's actually pretty viable, as you can see right now. I used my Q and my W to grab some easy CS.
Steady.
And here the commentary actually ends because the top lane decided to go AFK, so it would not be used to show the rest of the video. But in my opinion, the late game Kennen is just like a usual AD carry. You need to position well, and the only difference is that you need to know when to use your abilities to stun and when basic attacking, which is of course your main damage source, is just fine. How I would have finished my build was a Last Whisper, then a defensive item, which could have been a Zhonya's like I have explained. Or a Banshees for against a CC lock team, like a Vi ultimate or something, because you can then just block that. And as last, the Phantom Dancer for the attack speed and the crit chance. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching my video, and don't forget to hit the like button or subscribe for more commentaries. Thanks for watching.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Balance in all things.